Hey guys! Apologies for my absence this last week. Life just gets in the way sometimes. But the good news is, I'm back and I've got lots of Chivalry content in the works. First of which will drop in a couple of days. But today's a day to look forward, as tomorrow the new update drops. Or today, if you're watching this tomorrow. Well, this is definitely worthy of celebration. It's been 5 long months since we last had a content drop, and the game is beginning to suffer in many ways. Fortunately, we appear to be getting a reasonable slice of content heading our way in just a few hours. I will be covering the game post-update once I've had a chance to experience the new siege, weapons and game modes in all its glory. I'll do my best to test various bugs, etc. and all things relevant to the console version. This will hopefully provide some useful information for all the new squires joining the game, because if you've not already heard, Chivalry 2 will be released on PlayStation Plus tomorrow, coinciding with the launch of the new update. This is huge in many ways. Firstly, just to inject the player base with new blood and hopefully create new fans of the genre. PlayStation has a huge install base, so that's potentially millions of new eyeballs on the game that otherwise had no idea of its existence, despite folk like me championing and promoting the game endlessly. Secondly, matchmaking. As much as I love Chivalry, sometimes it can be tedious being stuck in lobbies that are primarily high-level PC players. Regardless of any banter, they just have many more advantages over us, and it makes for an unfair playing field. If Torn Banner continues to consistently refuse inputting button remapping into the game for console players, then please at least allow us to turn Crossplay off for a balanced experience. This feature is still broken on PlayStation, 2 years removed from launch.
Well, shit.
My point is, with the game's launch now on PlayStation Plus, in theory, this should flood the lobbies with players from console and help to create a healthier, balanced, generally more fun experience, and those new players you've just acquired will enjoy the game more and stick around. If we're all separated into high-level PC lobbies, I worry for their safety and sanity. We shall see how this plays out over the coming weeks. To be more specific, here's a brief rundown of what is expected to drop tomorrow as part of Update 2.8. A new siege called the Sacking of Bridgetown. Now peasants toil in the fields, while Agathin nobles party in the streets and taverns, quenching their thirst on fine vintages. But is that a hint of sand in the wine? This description on the official Chivalry Twitter hints that this new siege will be Tenosia crossing the sea and invading Agathin lands. There'll be a host of new carryables, such as grape chunks, millstones, plows, one-handed toy horses, and even nobles themselves. I can't wait to play this, it sounds epic. There's a new weapon coming to the game in the form of the Heavy Cavalry Sword. This is a one-handed weapon with a longer reach but slower swing speed, and apparently has unique attacks from horseback. There'll be lots of opportunity to utilize the Heavy Cavalry Sword in the new limited time mode, which brings me to the Mounted Arena. Now there's not a great deal of information available regarding this new limited time mode, none in fact. The patch notes gave no further input as to the format, so one would assume it's nothing more than the title suggests. Apparently, there's a large percentage of the playbase that dislike the addition of horses, and literally avoid the Mounted Warfare playlist altogether. But despite this, Torn Banner continues to push them into the game. Personally, I enjoy the horses, when they work, and I feel they belong here. They could just do with a little optimization and bug fixes. Now, of course we're getting a new Battle Pass, which has been titled Raiding Party. They want us to call this a campaign pass, but come on. By now, the masses are indoctrinated into the Battle Pass culture. The name of this model is rooted in time at this point. Changing its name only serves to confuse new players into thinking the game has some form of campaign. Sadly, it does not. Apparently, this Battle Pass will feature cosmetics strongly linked with the Tenosian faction. This is good news. We desperately needed new options to flex our fashion. And of course, also launching with this update is Crossplay Parties. Remember this?
We're also finally bringing full crossplay social support to the game.
What that means really is having no barriers on the social side for players to experience the game together.
Well, that was 2 years ago, and only now is the promise being fulfilled. Albeit in beta form, so expect teething issues, but just the fact it's finally a reality is a massive step forward. Firm high fives to all the devs if it works as intended. Other notable features are the takedown requirement has been adjusted to 25 from 50, so it's easier than ever to score takedowns, so even the meekest of players can feel like they're contributing in a big way. There's going to be some high-scoring games on the horizon. Horses have been added to Lion Spire, so that's going to make for an interesting experience providing the collision detection has been improved. Players on defense now get a bonus at the conclusion of matches. This is to combat the team stacking issue that's plagued lobbies for well over a year. Typically, all the higher level players will switch to attack for the easier experience. Personally, I feel the best way to combat this problem would be to balance your game or switch the feature off, rather than tip the balance with artificial point increases. Surely now the same problem will persist, only everyone will switch to defense for the points buff, leaving us with the same issue. Well, time will tell. And lastly, there's a myriad of bug fixes, balance changes, etc., but I'll likely delve deeper into the meat and potatoes in my update breakdown video, once I've had some time to play and experiment. There's a whole host of bugs, glitches and game-breaking issues that have frequently been haunting us. Let's all pray to the chivalry gods we've seen the back of them post-update. Well, that's about it from me. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I've got more chivalry content dropping throughout this week in the form of some funny and epic duels. They'll be going live while I gather footage from update 2.8, so hopefully you'll enjoy them, and maybe I'll see you in the battlefield, brothers. Take it easy, have a great day, and enjoy the new content.
Did you like that?